You're gonna love this. Not only do we have deer in soybean fields, these dirty bastards right in my yard. Freaking skinheads. I need to mow my grass.
You gonna shoot?
Nope, I'm not gonna shoot them. It's against the rules. We need more deer. I don't think we have enough. My secret army's coming to complain. Its harvest is about to start. Rats.
Okay. So here's another problem with New Jersey. There's a camera right there. See that right there? It's probably caught me, and it's okay. I don't mind. But yeah, I'm out of breath. I just walked through the valley. This is New Jersey. This is New Jersey's legal bait station. So, as you can see, there's a lot of deer tracks there. A load of them. And there's ears. Whew, I'm out of breath. I just walked down a mountain and up the other side. What a pain in the ass. But anyway, so here's New Jersey's bait station. There's the deer stand. I was half expecting to see somebody in it. And he'd yelled at me, which is fine. So the deer come and they eat the corn, right? Well, how's this? This was soybeans. So you bring the deer into this where they snack a little bit on corn, but on their way to the pile, the bait pile, they come out and they totally trample this down, ravage these soybeans to the point where there's barely any soybeans, leaving room for the weeds to grow, the canopy on the weeds to grow. Deer shit everywhere. So this is what it looks like. This is what deer damage looks like. And then when you have stupid New Jersey laws for the gentleman hunter, I mean, these guys that hunt here in New Jersey, they're not hunters.
Oh, I'm going to put this in place of what I had said while I was in the field, because it was quite offensive to anybody that picks up a gun or a bow and goes out in the field to shoot deer. The bag limits in New Jersey are unlimited. You can shoot all you want until you're blue in the face, or your freezers are over full, or all your friends hate your guts because you keep dropping deer off in their driveway for them to cut up and eat and whatever. The problem is that deer hunters in New Jersey don't just shoot deer. When I used to get the depredation permit, I would kill 10, 15 a night, 10, 15 a day. The best was about 7 in 30 seconds. I was using a rifle at the time. Yes, this has been over 10 years ago, so they can't get me now. There's no evidence of it. But 7 in 30 seconds. And, you know, if they really wanted to shoot a large number of deer to help the farmers out, they would just shoot deer. But deer hunters don't really care about that. The food bank, Norwest Cap, would take all the deer that they could have or handle, but they won't process them. The hunters have to pay for processing. There was a program a few years ago that some farmers got together and said, "Hey, listen, Norwest Cap needs to take these deer." And they're like, "Yeah, okay, but the farmer has to pay to process them, and then we'll give the food away, or the food away." And then there was money allocated, and it went into general funds into the New Jersey Division of Fish, Game, and Wildlife, and they spent it on new pickup trucks, because the Division of Fish, Game, and Wildlife, they're a bunch of useless assholes. And anyways, I can say that because they're never going to catch me on a hunting violation, because I don't hunt anymore because of those assholes. So there you go.
Yeah. This here, they got in here when they were young, when the beans were just coming up, and they come in along the edge here, and what they do is they pop them off as they come up, leaving bare patches, and this is how it works. So they come along the edge, and now he's got this, I want to call it baby's breath. I'm not even sure, but I think it is baby's breath, to be honest with you. I'm still out of breath from walking a mile. Actually running. I actually ran up that hill, but you can see there's not one area here that isn't affected. So this got knocked off when it was young, as it was coming up. This here too, and because this is along the edge, and I do know the symptoms of deer damage. This is where the drill didn't get in the ground all the way. Yeah. So, look at this. I mean, come on. This is a 60-acre field. I guarantee if I walk to the middle of the field, and it's not mine, obviously, but when you get these easy areas for them to walk, because deer are lazy, let's face it, they go to the easiest area, and they continue to eat. So you get stalks like that, and then you get into the interior of the field, stalks like that, and this, and this. I'm going to walk across this field. I kid you not, this is at least 60 acres. 60 acres. You see any less deer damage? You see any less? I just see more and more. Now you see that? That is a pile of deer shit like you've never seen, because, you know, in with the new, out with the old, as they say. So I'm still walking. Look at the deer damage. I know Zach from the Minnesota Millennial Farmer, was saying that he can't believe how much damage that we have with deer. You take the 60-acre field, you put a herd of 30 or 40 deer on it every single night, all summer long during the growing season. This is double crop beans, by the way. Took the weed off and put these in. You know, still it's expensive. You know, I'm still walking. I'm still seeing deer damage. I'll show you. So the beans are getting a little taller now out here, but here you go. Oh, there's deer damage where they stomped it down. More deer damage. You know, as I'm getting farther and farther away from the, look at this. I guarantee you, there is not 1 acre of this field that isn't affected by the deer. Okay. I know there's a bunch of hunters out there that like to toss off to their deer as they're watching them from their deer stand, and where I was going with that was they sit in that deer stand, they watch those deer all day long. At any given time they could shoot a deer on that bait pile. You can't tell me that they don't, because they do. I know a lot of guys that hunt and they're like, oh yeah, I watched the buck grow in his antlers, you know, as they were in velvet, and you know, he's tossing off some more about it. And he's like, oh, the antlers, you can't believe this buck is going to be a 205, you know. And if you know what I'm talking about, I don't think I do. I don't know what a 205 is, but I do. It's the number of inches per in the rack. They actually measure the tines. I mean, how fucked up is that? They're antlers. It's horns. It's the deer's defense mechanism. It's nothing. You can't eat it, you stupid assholes. But whatever. Anyway, I used to go deer hunting and enjoy it, and I shot does. It didn't matter to me. I was feeding the family. So I've continued to walk, and yeah, the deer damage is a little less, but here it is. Still popping them off out here in the middle of the field. I'll just keep walking. Now we got grasshoppers. So we got grasshoppers here. Look at this. Here's an area. Look at this. Come in here and eat. How far am I in the middle? I mean, I'm not in the middle of the field, but I'm in the first third from the fence row. And I know a lot of hunters are like, oh, well, they only eat the outside edges. Well, hunters don't go into the middle of the fields like a farmer does. Yes, more damage. I got 6 minutes of time on this video right now. So, anyways, this video is for you, Zach. The reason I'm making this video for you is if you're starting to have evident deer problems in your fields, you better take care of it now. Don't go to the state for help, because them motherfuckers, they only care about their pocket. They only care about the hunting license that they can sell and the money that they can generate, because that's their business. They don't care about farmers. They don't care. New Jersey was the same way. Oh, we'll work with our farmers, and then you can't even get a depredation permit. And get this, I've been in fields. I got another field I'm going to show in another video because I'm not near it right now. It's a 20 plus acre field. It is this tall. And when I say this tall, between my pinky and my thumb, 20 acres just mowed the hell off. There's fields that the farmer, and I know the farmer personally, he didn't even plant them because the deer eat it off. So here's a place where they bedded down. Of course, they woke up that morning, walked a few feet, and started chewing again. And I'm still walking. So when I say there's not an area that wasn't affected, here, look. They take the top of the plant off. There's no photosynthesis in this plant now. And the beans are way down at the bottom because anything that would be blooming at the top has been beaten and eaten off. See, because this plant here, oh, and this plant's been affected too. I'm trying to find a plant that's not affected in some way or another. And so far, okay, here's one. This plant here, and it's got there's 2 plants there, and no, that one has a bite down low. That surprises me. Usually they take the tops off.
Okay, so I do want to touch on the Division of Fish, Game, and Wildlife a little bit on this. The Division of Fish, Game, and Wildlife about 10 years ago, and yes, that's William just getting the booger sucked out of his nose, started getting a large portion of land in our area. I mean, literally hundreds and hundreds of acres, land that I farmed, land that my neighbor farmed, and they have thrown all the farmers off. No more farming on Division of Fish, Game, and Wildlife land. The problem with that is now that it is growing up into woody bushes and multiflora rose bushes, noxious weeds, and just don't mind William. Anyway, with all of that, land being put into deer habitat, yes, deer habitat, you can't farm within 5 miles of the damn things. And when they're 5 miles apart, or there's large blocks of land that, within 5 mile radius of this land, because deer migrate about 5 miles in every direction, and they'll go to that sanctuary that the Division of Fish, Game, and Wildlife has put up so that they can attack and fine hunters, which stops them from hunting, because who the hell wants to go to Division of Fish, Game, and Wildlife land where the game warden walks around and just says, hey, let me check out your gun while you're trying to hunt. So they harass them off of their own lands. They let it grow up into woody bushes. They throw the farmers off, and then they won't help a farmer out with depredation permits, because if the deer annihilate a field to the point where there's nothing left, there's nothing to defend, and they won't even issue you that permit. So they suck. They suck beyond suck. Division of Fish, Game, and Wildlife needs to have about 40,000 letters written to them, 40,000 phone calls into their office saying, allow farmers to farm your land, you worthless bastards, and see what happens there. I know that it will never happen. Nobody's going to take the time to do it. But here in New Jersey, we call them the Division of Fish and Hunting License, because that's all they care about. They don't care about the people around. They don't care about the people that get hurt from deer collisions with cars. They don't care about people and their cars. Insurance companies need to get on board on this thing and start to do something about the deer population. I would personally, if somebody could catch me a few deer that have chronic wasting disease, I would come out and pick them up and turn them loose in the fields of New Jersey just to fuck with the herds. I would love to see that. Chronic wasting disease in New Jersey, endo problems. Because I actually went into fields of hay where they hadn't normally bothered it, and now they're chewing it down to the ground. It's amazing what they're eating now. Because when there's no soybeans left and the shrubs around people's houses is all gone, what are they going to do? They're going to go out and eat hay fields. So, anyways, end of rant.